In this lesson, we will learn how to search for student records using Python. Searching through a database is a common task that allows you to retrieve specific information based on certain criteria. We will use Python in conjunction with MySQL to create a simple application that can find student records efficiently. Don't worry if this feels new at first. This section covers understanding the basics of searching. Before we dive into coding, let's understand what searching means in the context of databases. Searching is the process of querying the database to find specific records that match given parameters. In our case, we will search for students based on their names or IDs. In a relational database like MySQL, we use the select statement to retrieve data. The syntax is straightforward. The samples on screen walk through this step. Take a moment to read through them. Here's the idea. This statement allows us to specify which columns we want to retrieve and under what conditions. Let's move on to setting up your environment. To follow along with this lesson, ensure that you have the following installed. First, Python. Make sure you have Python 3.x installed. Also, MySQL. A MySQL server should be running on your machine. Finally, MySQL connector for Python. Install it using pip. See the example on this slide. Pause if you want to study the details. Now, once you have these components set up, you're ready to start coding. You'll use this often as you go. Now, creating the database and table. First, we need to create a database and a table to store student records. Open your MySQL command line or a graphical interface like phpMyAdmin and execute the following commands. I'll let you read the examples on screen rather than reading every line aloud. This will create a database named school and a table named students with 4 columns: ID, name, age, and grade. Next, inserting sample data. Next, let's insert some sample student records into our students table. You can use the following SQL commands. See the example on this slide. Pause if you want to study the details. This will populate your table with 3 students. This section covers writing the search function in Python. Now, let's write a Python script to search for a student by name. Create a new Python file called search_student.py and add the following code. Add the Python snippet shown on screen to your application file, then use the run command displayed below. In this script, first, we import the MySQL.connector module. Also, we define a function called search_student that takes a student's name as a parameter. Also, we connect to the MySQL database using the connection parameters. Also, we prepare a SQL query to select students with the given name and execute it. Finally, we fetch the results and print each student's details. This section covers testing the search function. To test the function, run your script in the terminal. Run the command shown on screen to start your application. If everything is set up correctly, you should see the output for Alice's record. I'll let you read the examples on screen rather than reading every line aloud. This indicates that our search function is working as intended. In this lesson, we learned how to search for student records in a MySQL database using Python. We created a database and a table, inserted sample data, and wrote a Python script to query student records by name. Now put what you've learned into practice. First, modify the search_student function to search by age instead of name. Also, add more student records to the database and test your search function with different names. Finally, implement error handling in your Python script to manage cases where no records are found.